Hello there, it's me, Wickrow, back with another video, and today's gonna be a little bit special, because I'm gonna be making a very detailed review on Feather Client, because I got access to it from my friend Yom. Shout out to Yom. I'll plug his stuff in the description, so if you want to check him out. But yeah, let's start it off. I'm gonna also be comparing it with Lunar Client, because that's what I used earlier. So this is what it looks like when it starts. It's just a feather and a nice background. I actually really like that. Here we see, here's some news, but here's the main stuff. 1.8.9, these are versions of Minecraft. 1.12.2, 1.17.1, and for that you need Fabric instead of Forge. Forge is on 1.8.9 and 1.12.2, but on the newer versions it's Fabric. But yeah, these are the versions available. I don't know if you can see any other versions available, but these are the versions you can quick launch basically. Then here would be an invite if you've bought the Feather clients. I haven't because it was Yam who invited me, and I think you just click there and then you put in the username. It's basically a whitelist, and here it says partner servers. It's a server that Feather Client has partnered with. And yeah, let's move on. Folder, whatever you want to call it, and I would say the most important button in here is the add own mods button. As you can see, it loads up basically a file thingy, and you can put any mod in here that you've downloaded and it will work. It has to be forged though, and it has to be the right version. So as you can see, I have a couple in here, and I will showcase them later on, and they will be in the description below because they're very handy indeed. And then we have Optifine, Resource Pack Manager, a couple of things. Replay mod is very useful if you're a content creator like me. It can be a little tedious to use, but it's very useful. Then we have 1.12. Here we have Optifine, Resource Pack Manager. Lots of different stuff. I mean, you can just click on it and it says what it does in source and everything. So yeah, that's basically it. The thing with 1.17 and 1.18 is I don't think you have to download anything separate, but if you want to use your own mods for this, it has to be Fabric mods instead of Forge mods like on 1.8. And then you can browse mods here, so it's very simple. Like Skyblock mods, if you need Skyblock mods for like Hypixel or something, Feather got you covered. Here you can see your profile. I have linked my Discord account, which is very easy to do. I don't think that's. Then we have the settings. These, I mean, I didn't mess around with them too much. I repaired my game once. The resolution is auto, so yeah, there's not much to do here. But make sure you. I always put allocated RAM on half of my RAM, and yeah, that's it. So let's start Lunar Client and see what it's. No, not Lunar Client. Let's see what Feather Client is like. But first, let's compare it to Lunar Clients. So, yeah, here you see it's also just launch, news, servers. We're gonna launch both on 1.8, I assume, if that's possible. But yeah, as you can see, Feather Client was a lot faster. Yeah, there we go. That's the Feather Client startup. Feather Client. Yeah, as you can see, the Lunar Client is a little bit messed up because it's supposed to be in the middle. Feather Client is completely fine. Which one is loading faster though? Faster was Lunar Client, even though, I mean, we started them at the same time. This is what the main menu looks like for Feather Client. Here you can see single player worlds, multiplayer, servers, cosmetics for Feather Client. I don't have anything. And then quit game, which would stop the game. Here it says the version. That's just the logo. This is your account, so you can just have another account in here and switch around like a Lunar Client. Feather Client mods, we'll go into that a little bit later. Minecraft settings, and then we have the replay mod, but that's just because I have that enabled. Then we also have Lunar Client. Let me just put that in full screen. And here you can also see the version, That's your account. It's a lot tinier, and that's linked to Discord. And that's the logo, single player, multiplayer servers, and here we have skin changer, language, Minecraft settings, Lunar cosmetics, and Lunar settings. So in Lunar Client, in the main menu screen, you have a lot more stuff. These are just news by Lunar Clients, and that's the quit button. So let's hop onto Hypixel and show off some mods, I guess. Here, this is just Hypixel, my recording kind of stuff. And if you want to access the mods, you just press right shift like on Lunar Client. And here you can see I already have some stuff, but let's create a completely new profile. Profile name, there we go. And now as you can see, everything is completely normal besides, well, texture pack, but right shift, we go into the settings and there's the logo again. Here's the feather mods, the general settings, you can do a lot of things. Here's the main color, so you can just change everything to white, for example, but I liked it in the way I had it before. Then you can have different settings, borderless full screen, or just normal, and yeah, you can do a lot of stuff here. Chroma settings, breathing, normal. It's a lot to mess around with. HUD editor, blur menu. Here you can, for example, let's say G, and now you can see I pressed G and my mouse button, and now it opened. But we don't want to do that. We want to keep it on right shift. There we go. Line color. There's a lot of things you can change. So yeah, blur settings, portal sounds. You can turn portal sounds off. Custom drop stack, left control. Then we have the chat options, toggle chat. You can just turn off chat with a hotkey if you want to. I don't have it enabled because I don't want to accidentally turn off my chat. Limited scroll back. It's basically you can scroll infinitely in your chat, like back. So if you just joined, you can just go back, go back, go back. Background color is basically the background color of the chat. Right now it's red, as you can see. If I want to change it to purple, now it's purple, and so on. I'm just gonna have it on nothing though, because I don't like the background color. Text shadow is basically a shadow behind the text. That's it. And yeah, then we have stack repeated messages. That's really useful because if someone is just spamming in the chat the same message, it will just say this message but with a number next to it, how many times it's been said. Consecutive messages only is basically the same thing but off, so basically you don't have stacked messages, you only have like separate messages. And then highlights, you can highlight like if someone says your username or something. I'm actually gonna turn that on, and let's make that, let's see, light purple for example. Own messages, bold. What does bold do? It's a good question. Huh. Alright, that's interesting. Here are your performance settings. These I had to mess around with quite a lot. Use fast rendering, you should always be on. Use direct memory access should also be on, but you also have to try around a little bit because this like depends on your computer. Use fast rendering, use fast font rendering on, use static particle color, and lazy chunk loading. You see, this is what I didn't understand in the beginning. If you have this on high, because if you don't know, lazy chunk loading is just like chunk loading is slower. So you can see everything is loading a lot slower. But if I put that on low or completely off, then everything is a lot faster. And I would say this also depends heavily on your computer, but have it either on medium or low or off. But having it on high is a little bit extreme because then you won't be able to really play a game of Bed Wars, let's say, because you won't be able to really see your opponents that well. And that's basically it for these things. Now we're gonna talk about this mod menu. Here we can see, well, yeah, all the mods for Feather Client. These do not include the mods that you downloaded yourself. For example, I have a thing, because there's no hit color in Feather Client, then I go slash damage tint. and here I can change my damage color. It's really cool. I will link all my mods in the description. All credit to those guys. I haven't created this all by myself, so yeah. But here we can start. We'll go through all these mods. If you want to skip, just skip through all this. I'll have timestamps in the description, so yeah. Here we have animations. Block hit, block break. These are all just animations. Let's say, where do we have block place? Do we have block place? No. But if we turn off, I don't know, health, and we just try and demonstrate that somehow, I don't know. Or we just go into here and we turn off swinging. Alright, that did not change whatsoever. Here you can toggle all the animations. I assume this only works with a sword, and then you don't see the sword swing, which would be very confusing to me. But, wait, can I? No, that doesn't work either. I haven't messed around too much with these things, because I'm not using them. But you can just do anything with animations in here, I assume. And damage indicator, default, custom color, chroma. I'm not sure if this is actually like hit color. I think it's more something else, but I mean, let's try it out in a duel game maybe. I'm really bad at zoom. This just demonstrates it quickly. Yeah, as you can see, that overrides my other mod, and now it's red again. This can also demonstrate the knockback on Feather, because, yeah, I just lost, but yeah, let's not talk about that. Let's get on to the next mod. Next mod is armor status. This basically shows how much durability your armor has. You can change the text color, damage display, icon location, list mode, like horizontal or vertical, padding. Oh, that's interesting. That changes the distance between the things. So if you want it really tight, you can have it like this, but if you want it kind of spacious, you can have it like this. Then here we have what it shows, enable item name, then it's a lot bigger, show max damage. Yeah, you get the point. You can toggle everything off very easily and quickly. And I like the fact that you can just see this. You can see everything you're changing. You can't do that on Lunar Client. Then we have auto text, which is not allowed on Hypixel, so I can't show it. Then we have the block overlay. This I don't have on because I'm on a different profile now, but basically what this does is if I turn this on and I put it on that, for example, now it highlights this block in that color, and you can change a lot with this because you can change just outline. If you just want the block outline to show, then you can have it like nothing, then nothing is showing, obviously. And you can change the thickness of the line and the color of the outline, and always show or off or on. It's kind of simple actually. Then here's the boss bar, text color, box. Yeah, it's very basic. If you don't know what a boss bar is, Google it, I guess. This is cool, I guess. This shows your CPS. So if I'm clicking right now, I'm clicking 20 CPS. That was left click, now it's right click, so that's next to each other. And you can change a lot of things, line color, style, a lot of everything. Then we go to the next thing, clear water. Now this is something interesting, because we need to go somewhere with water. I think this doesn't work on Hypixel, but basically what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to make the water completely clear. Like completely clear that you can see through. And I would not suggest having this on because then you don't know if you're in water or no. This is also a cool mod for PvPers. Whoops. And basically what it does is if we spawn in a mob, maybe? Yeah. Oh. I can't use that. Well, basically what it would do is it would show how many hits in a row you're getting on your opponent. But if they get even one hit, it gets reset to 0. So yeah, it's quite simple. If you know what a combo is, you would understand what a combo counter is. It counts how many combos you're getting. Let's move on to the next mod. Coordinates. Very simple mod. Shows your coordinates, where you are. If I'm moving, the coordinates change. If you don't know what coordinates are, you should probably check that out because they're very, very useful. And this shows basically everything you would need to know about coordinates. If you're going this way, you know that you're going positive Z and positive X, I'm pretty sure. Because you can also just press F3 and you should see that somewhere. For some reason I'm not. That might be a Feather Client bug. Because remember, Feather Client is still in beta. It's not completely finished. So this is just a beta review. But this is very useful if you're playing like an SMP or something, but I don't suggest having it otherwise. Custom crosshair. Now this is something I was kind of upset about, because you can see you can change the size. Now we have, oh, never mind, wait, let me just change something real quick. This is my own crosshair mod that I installed that isn't Feather Clients. Now I also changed my texture pack, like resource pack, whatever you want to call it, crosshair, like what it comes with, and I'll maybe link something like that in the description. I found a really useful tutorial on how to do that, because you can't really get what you want on Feather Client for your crosshair. The thing is, if I go into here and I turn this off and on again, yeah, it's very buggy with the crosshair. It's very weird. If I make something like that, why is it not showing? What the heck? Alright, if I turn it on now. No, see? This crosshair has some weird stuff going on. But basically you can see what would happen. The size works fine, and you can see the dot, but if I make the thickness big, the dot just turns into a square. And a lot of players don't like that, I'm pretty sure. Here you can just have the gap between the, yeah. You can also change to circle, in which case the size, wait, can we demonstrate? Basically this is what the circle is like. There's a circle and then there's the dot. You can enable or de-enable the dot here. And then what really makes me triggered is if you change the size to something like that, like some reasonable small thing, and then you just want the thickness to be thick for having a big dot, it turns into a square again. And if I turn the dot off, after a while, it just, yeah, you can see it's square-like. It has these dents inside of it, and I really don't like that, because if you had the same as a Lunar Client, it would be a lot better. So if we just disconnect from Hypixel here and we join Hypixel here, but I can just completely change the crosshair here. If I want some lines on top, now I have some lines up top. I can completely customize anything, and I really just love that about Lunar Client. Let's go back to Feather. Alright, we're back on Feather, and I was showing off the crosshair mod. Here we go. You can change the color, you can have chroma on, you can have anything basically. But I suggest you shouldn't change that because it might distract you mid-fight, but hey, that's up to you. Here you can change the outline thickness. Yeah, you can see it really isn't good because the circle is not a circle. And yeah, it's just an outline for the crosshair. Next mod. Direction HUD. This basically shows you in which direction you're going. Now we're going west, southwest, south, southeast, east, northeast, north, northwest, west. It's quite self-explanatory. It just shows the direction you're going. And again, I don't suggest having this in PvP because it might distract you, and I don't think it's really necessary. Just some tips. You don't have to listen to me. Trust me. Discord, show single player world, show servers, show Hypixel game modes. I'm not sure what that does because I have it enabled and I don't see a single change. So yeah, FOV changer. This basically can just change everything. If I put everything on max, you can see it. It's like I have Quake Pro on, but in in reality I only have that much. Now it's Quake Pro. As you can see, it's very very weird, as if you have the nausea effect on. So yeah, I suggest you don't mess around with that too much. But I guess who's gonna stop you? We have FPS counter, which is already enabled here. It just shows your active FPS. I'm pretty sure you can turn on if you have limitless FPS or unlimited. Yeah, you can change the type it's saying, you can change the background, a lot of things. Text channel, off, on. What is this? Border. Oh, it's the border of the thing. But yeah, it's just the FPS. It shows the FPS. And right now I have it on that it shows how much I can get, because my monitor itself is only 144 Hertz. And if you didn't know this, how much can your monitor produce is exactly how much you probably can get in game. I can't promise anything though, because if you have a really bad computer and like a 200 Hertz monitor, it won't show 200 FPS, I'm pretty sure. Next mod, Glint. This is like, if you have a potion, if we turn this on and we go into our inventory and we go into brewing, now you can see every potion has this kind of a weird effect on it, right? It has this glowing right next to it. And that's basically what Glint does, I assume. Or not assume, that's what I know. You can turn it off for armor too. Like when it's enchanted armor or an enchanted item, you can turn it off or on. So that's pretty simple too. Now we have the next row, Hitbox. I can't really show this off too well. I can go into the lobby. But basically what this does is it changes the color of your hitbox. Not your hitbox, but the hitbox of a NPC. Look, now you see a hitbox and it's red. I only think that sumo players will use this, but whoever wants it, you can use it like this. You can change it to any color and do stuff with it, but that's basically it. Hypixel mods. This is very simple. It's only for Hypixel, the Minecraft server Hypixel. Auto friend. This will friend a lot of people for you. Auto tip. It will show a lot of tips. Auto GG will say GG at the end of every game. Anti GG will not show any GGs, I'm pretty sure. Anti lobby join, not sure what it does. Level head shows what Hypixel level someone is above their head. Level head prefix is basically to change the level head. And yeah, level head suffix is different stuff. All just Hypixel based. Item counter shows you the item counts of what you have in your hotbar basically, but next to your hotbar. So if I turn this on, it's going to say that right here. Display mode, horizontal, vertical, text alignment, background, arrows. I mean, on off, you can have that off. This is basically just to toggle everything you want to see. And this is also mainly done for PvP. Item info. If we turn this on, you can just go into somewhere and see, like, this is not a good example, but basically it shows you how much durability it has and stuff like that by default. You can change a lot of things, show stuff, time, counts, enchants, fade out, a lot of stuff. Next mod, item physics. This is a very cool mod if you want to have a cool game look, I guess. So if we get something like granite, I guess, and throw it on the floor. Damn it. Oh, we can't throw things on the floor here. Maybe it works with potions. Not really, but what it does is it just throws it on the ground, like flat on the ground, instead of like floating. If this block was just floating around, it would just be flat on the ground instead. Next mod, it looks really sick in PvP, like Bed Wars or something. Keystrokes, classic mod, shows you what you're pressing. WASD, left button, right mouse button. Also shows your CPS, which is really cool because then you don't need the separate CPS mod. And spacebar. You can probably hear that very loudly. But there's not much to say about that. You can change a lot of things in here. Change all the color, change the names. A lot of customization, trust me, it's really cool. Motion blur. Motion blur. Don't have it on. That's all I'm saying. You don't want motion blur. Nick hider. Shows you nicks or no nicks, I guess. Oof mod didn't really work for me. It's supposed to make an oof sound every time you hit someone or get hit. Pack display. Shows what pack you have on. Right now I have a lot of different, I have 2 different packs on. Both will be in the description if you want them. And let's head on to the next one. Particles on. If you have this on, that just every time you hit someone, not when you crit someone, but every time you hit someone, it will show particles. Then we have perspective. This is freelook. It's called perspective in Feather Client, and it's not allowed on Hypixel, so you can't use it. Ping shows what ping you have. Where's my ping thing? That's odd. Where is it though? Interesting. Oh, there we go. Now you can see my ping. But this ping thing does not work whatsoever because I do not live next to the Hypixel servers, trust me. So yeah, I wouldn't use that because it's not accurate. We have potion effects. It shows the potion effects right there. Right now we have, I splashed myself with night vision. You can see my night vision, how long it will last. You can completely customize that too. Every color and stuff, and even separate for each potion. You can have night vision on blue and jump boost on, I don't know, green. Reach display shows how much reach you have. Where is it though? Where is the reach display? There we go. But why do we not see it? Oh, it's this thing. I thought this was the combo thing. Basically what it shows is how much reach you have. If you're standing here and there's a mob right here and you hit him, that's 3 blocks reach. And it just shows that you can completely customize the color and the background. It's very simple for all the things because all these things have the same options. You can change the background color, change the background completely, change the text color, text shadow, whatsoever. Saturation, if I turn this off, yeah, it doesn't show my saturation. If I turn it on, it shows my saturation. Scoreboard, this is important for servers. You see, the scoreboard for Hypixel or whatever you want to call it is there. If I turn this off, it's not there. This can be sometimes very confusing. If you go into the menu and just click this away, it probably means your scoreboard is de-enabled. And then you can just enable it again and boom. Screenshot is basically direct copy for a screenshot. If I make a screenshot, I can just directly copy everything. It's great. I don't know if this is a Hypixel plugin or if it's Feather, but I assume you can just directly copy it and it works. Scrollable tooltips. We already talked about this, but basically, if you're in Skyblock, Hypixel Skyblock, let's say, and you have an item with like 50 billion enchants, and you can't fit them all on your screen, then you can just scroll to see all the enchants instead of just having to make your GUI very, very tiny. Server address shows what server you're on, hypixel.net. Snaplook. Now this is what a lot of PvPers want to use. It's a substitute to freelook. Basically, what you want to do is, let me see what setting this is on. What's Where is it? There we go. Let's put it on like K. I will go into F5 mode instantly, but it only lasts for as long as you hold it. It isn't just lasting like pressing F5. So yeah, you can just use this mid-fight or something, but be aware. If I'm walking in a straight line, you see my head is not moving. If I move my head, my character is also gonna move. In freelook, this was different because in freelook, your character didn't move if you moved the camera. So yeah, this is a substitute to freelook. I suggest you use it. It's very useful and handy sometimes, and can get you out of a lot of sticky situations. Next thing, time. Shows you what time it is. Shows me my time. It's 8:37 in the morning. Self-explanatory. You can change the color of the text and the background. Time changer. Now this is a fun one because you can change the time, and you see now it's night. And this is my pack, by the way. This is not the normal night of Minecraft. Why is there a block up here? That is triggering. Next thing, toggle sprint shows you if your sprint is enabled. Right now, sprinting key is held, and whatever your sprinting key might be, mine is control, and if I press shift, then sneaking key is held, and that basically displays that. I would say use it if you're recording something. Now this is something that only Feather Client has. I haven't tried it out, but basically what this is supposed to do is you can talk with every Feather Client user who has this enabled, and right now it's enabled on push to talk. And yeah, basically just I think it works, and no other client has this kind of a thing. It's proximity chat. If you're close to your player, you hear them very loudly. The farther you go away, the less you hear them. Waypoints is a mod that is also disabled on Hypixel, but basically what it does, you can mark this point, and then you would see it like from miles away. You would see that that is that waypoint. You can name it and probably change a bunch of color stuff and things like that. Weather changer, you can change the weather. I mean, why would you need it? But yeah, okay. And then we have zoom. Zoom is a very interesting thing because if we have it on minus, we have it on minus. Now it zooms in. But also Optifine has built in that when you press C, it will zoom in too. And you cannot change the Optifine key for the zoom. So if you want to have your Feather Client zoom on C, that won't work. Trust me, I tried. I'm not sure if you can rebind the Optifine stuff. You maybe even can, but I'm not sure how, so comment down below if you know how. But yeah, that's basically all the mods in the mod menu. Here you can just filter through them, PvP, Hypixel, HUD. And this is basically the movements, how you want them on your HUD. This is your favorites. You can just favorite them right there. Just put a heart. Now I see the armor status. If I turn that off and on again, it's gone. This is just better, simpler way to see them. And this is your profiles. Yeah, that's basically it. That's all there is to Feather Client. This shows you the time, date, and everything. And yeah, let's compare with Lunar Client in some games. We're gonna play a game of sumo and compare the knockback on Lunar Client and Feather Client, because I've heard a lot of rumors that ooh, Feather Client knockback is garbage. I'm gonna die so easily, but I feel like it's the complete other way. So let's compare the both of them. I'm on the exact same thing, and yeah, you saw that. Now we're gonna disconnect, join on Lunar Client. So this is now Lunar Client, as you can see, Lunar Client. Here we go. Yeah, as you can see, not a huge difference. And I would say that on Lunar Client the knockback is more consistent. So on Feather Client, if someone hits you, you can take a lot of knockback or very little knockback. Because I've had situations where I take no knockback at all, and people say I'm hacking. So I would say Feather Client has to tweak that a little bit, because something I think is off. GG. Alright, good game. I forgot to mention what mods I'm using as extra mods, as an extension to Feather Client basically. And first one is slash damage tint. I can change the damage hit color completely, and as you can see, you have to mess around with it a little bit, but you can get exactly what you want because you can have all the colors of the rainbow basically. And then I also have a TNT timer. If we go into Bedwars practice, I can show that off. Basically right here you can see it's exactly the same as on Lunar Client basically. It's just a TNT timer. And that mod is actually called Essentials, and it's just not a TNT timer. It has a lot of different things to it. For example, if I press escape, you can see this is Essentials. It's not Feather Client. If I press cosmetics, you can buy cosmetics, I guess, and only people who have Essential can see it, so I don't recommend it. These are not Feather Client cosmetics. Alright, don't get it wrong. But if you want it, you can use that too. And you can also have friends. For example, Yom wants to be my friend, but I'm not gonna accept him because I'm just like that. And also, if you press escape, you can see the mod options. Here you can see all your mods listed that you have enabled. Minecraft Coder Pack, Forge Mod Loader, these are just the the stuff that comes with Feather Client and that too, but Essential is what I have installed. Then Replay mod you can just enable. Custom Crosshair mod, Damage Tint, Feather Opt is just another thing. Resource Pack Manager is another part of Feather Client, and TNT Time is this. You can see it. And yeah, that's about it. I don't think I forgot anything. And yeah, I say use these mods if you're a PvPer. Let's see, can we get a TNT jump? We can. Great. But that's about everything I had to say about Feather Client, Lunar Clients. Here you can also see next to my username, it's the Feather Client logo and then a green little square, and that shows that I'm using Essentials. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and see you next time.